we now take you live to Port Harcourt in the Rivers State capital, where Rivers Network, in conjunction with the National Youth Council of Nigeria, is holding a one-day youth summit themed linking the future of Rivers youth to the dreams of our founding fathers. Let's take a look.
I thought we can do better than that. Please, give me another interlude, please. Great use of Rivers State. I can't hear you. Great use of Rivers State. Upon the greatest use of Rivers State. Great. Are we okay? Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, here ably represented by no less the person of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth, Rivers State, our dear friend, a Rivers son, Dr. Roland. I salute you. The chairman, very indefatigable chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, Comrade Chijioke Ihuo. My dear friends, the erudite scholars here present, our brothers who hold the fort in the citadel of elitism in Nigeria, particularly of the Rivers extraction. I can see Dr. Gift Wanu. I can see Dr. Asuk. I can as well see my brother Kester. I welcome you. My dear brothers and sisters, youths of Rivers State, I salute you. Good afternoon. Members of the 4th Estate of the Realm, my friends, members of the pen profession, our own indomitable press, I welcome you to this program. I had elected to do an extempore presentation, but I fear the season of people trying to misquote you, and so I have decided to now put my thoughts in black and white so that I can be properly quoted. When you misquote me, I can now sue you. So the press, that's the reason why I will do a written. So thank you. I count myself privileged to preside over this brainstorming assemblage put together by Rivers for Rivers Network in conjunction with the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN Rivers State Chapter, holding today, the 9th of March, 2023, at the Polo Club premises in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. My enthusiasm is laced by the following apodictic facts. 1, that the embroidery that I sense here is totally devoid of government influence, but a program put together by a conglomerate of youths of Rivers State, I therefore hold no reluctance in congratulating the organizers and all of us, the attendees. 2, that the team, and I quote, linking the future of youth to the dreams of our founding fathers is apt, succinct, brisk, and summarily auspicious. 3, that as I peruse through the program, I could see punchy sub-themes brilliantly isolated to be discussed by erudite scholars of our rivers extraction. In my little beginning in academics, I was a great adherent of Frantz Fanon, a revolutionist thinker from Martinique. He was classified as a West Indian psychoanalyst and social philosopher. Plenty of his philosophies caught my fancy and created foods for thought for me. However, one of these famous thinkers' offerings that explains this gathering here today is, I quote, that every generation has a vision. You either uphold it or you betray it. So, I pause to ask, what is the vision of our generation? Is this vision of our generation, how be it, in the spheres of politics, culture, economic, and or social, as we may identify, in sync with the dreams of our fathers through forebears? Should we uphold them? Should we betray them? Is it the dream of our founding fathers that we are economically subservient to any race, nationality, or tendency in the midst of plenty? Is it the dream of our fathers that our enviable social ethos, ethics, norms, and our laws atrophy into abysmal oblivion? Is it the dream of our fathers through forebears that our generation be psychologized into docility by the nuances, indiscretions, antics, subterfuges of non-indigenous folks and foes who migrated into our settlements, communities, villages, and towns? Alas, if our areas are not veritable and replete with arable land and flowing with milk and honey, will it have been attractive, clement, and serene enough to strangers? Do we have to go cap in hand to beg our non-indigenous residents to be able to enthrone the type of leadership we desire for our states? Should we be consumed by the negative aftermath of urbanization? An unexamined life is not worth living. And I quote from the philosopher called Socrates. My fellow youths, I implore us to behave like the late sage Thomas Sankara, who beset by the negatives that dotted his country at a given epoch, shot himself into power with a burning desire to change the course of sordid history. As a demonstration to his knack to keep to the dreams of his forebears, Sankara changed the name of his country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. The country today you know as Burkina Faso was nicknamed or was changed. The name was changed from Upper Volta by Thomas Sankara. And the meaning of Burkina Faso is that our destiny is in our hands. Should we not emulate Sankara to hold our destiny in our hands? However, to achieve this is completely off the radar of the crudities of violence or lawlessness or any form of enemies whatsoever and howsoever. It will take programs such as this intellectual assembly to sensitize, conscientize, and mobilize our youth to the realities of the moment and juxtapose those with the dreams of our forefathers and forebears. I dare say that the only state that we can possibly call our own is Rivers State. As youths, which constitute the most potent force in our society, we must stand up to our responsibilities. I quote Franz Fanon again. He said, "The hottest place in hell is prepared for that youth of River State who, in the glaring attempt to undermine our humanity by centrifugal forces, internal or external, decide to be indifferent." And I say this was coined from Franz Fanon's book. In summary, I only try to provide a framework through plank upon which discourses here will proceed. Your well-chosen seasoned academics will lucidly deal with the issues in a bit. Youths of our state, youths of River State, youths of River State, I enjoin you to resist roughshods. I enjoin you to refuse roughshods. I enjoin you to refuse roughshods that will threaten your existence. Pusillanimity, or what they call I don't careism, in the face of non sequiturs that make us no less slaves in our communities, villages, towns, and states, is not a vice. It's not only a vice, but unforgivable sacrilege. I charge you to discountenance the loyal by failed and desperate politicians from our states who marooned our villages, communities, and towns, preaching against the interests of our people and states in the useless bid to curry inordinate favors. The Chinese adage was right and best describes these annoying anti-state individuals in presenting unambiguously that, and I quote, "Those who the gods want to destroy, they first make mad." Thanks for obliging me, as I hope for a serene environment that will make for the churning out of a communique that will capture and address the general moods of our teeming youth herein gathered, and those absent for whom we stand proxies for. My name is Chief Tony C. Okocha, Knight of St. Christopher, Justice of the Peace. Thank you and God bless you.
Can we please put our hands together for our chairman? With this kind of sweet music, I'm not sure say any of you are supposed to sit down. Ah, some of you just sit down like so. I played Arabet yesterday in the copy court. A court? Huh? Who caught her? Ladies and gentlemen, please can we put our hands together for our chairman? Bona clap for our chairman. You know, our dignitaries, they speak big English. If me I follow them, they speak big English. Some of them I go just sit down for that. So when we speak small big English, more will come back home so that we can understand ourselves. Mr. Chairman, the grammar where you blow from this thing where you read, some people don't jot and down. You know, you reminded me of one politician where they ask question one time for TV. The politician used grammar, confuse who interview, confuse who follow come interview, confuse everybody. Then just ask her, what is the situation of politics right now? Then the guy blow grammar. Let me say, prestissimo, that is as quickly as possible, that the political krikum krakum, or if you like, the political higi haka, has all the trappings of an odoriferous saga, ku kakatwa gaga. My mother said, "You off the television, offer, we don't want wahala." But ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed a brilliant, well-written, and of course, well-spoken speech to enlighten our people, to enlighten our youth. Once again, can we put our hands together for our chairman? We want to, at least for those of you who are still trying to wake up properly, because it is a shower of blessing that this program was held today and sun not shine. Rain first fall, so God first showered this program with rain to keep us very cold and very normal. So nobody need to buy handkerchief, just they sip your water, they enjoy yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said, it is a summit to interact and enlighten youth on what it is and what it takes to be part and parcel of this state's politics, this state's growth, and of course, to take your state by yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring up some musical artists who are here to perform this afternoon, I'd like to call for the first paper presentation. I'd like to call on our guest for the first paper presentation. This presentation is titled From East Nigeria to Rivers State, A Brief History and Identity Question. This is to enlighten you, this is to educate you, this is to put you on the path that you are supposed to be. Great Rivers youth, please, if your hands are not too busy, permit me to make welcome to the podium one of the gentlemen that we have so much respect for. He is a proper scholar and of course one of those who will enlighten us this afternoon. Can we put our hands together for Dr. Gift Wallow?
Rivers people, the youth of Rivers State, the future of Rivers State, the hope of Nigeria, I greet all of you from the depth of my heart. Before I start, let me very warmly thank the organizers of this program for finding me worthy to stand before you this afternoon to talk to you on the topic of From Eastern Nigeria to Rivers State, a brief history and the identity question. Before I do, let me recognize the presence of our chairman and greet our chairman, my own friend and boss, Chief Sir Honorable Tony Okocha, former Chief of Staff Government House, and an essay of the Kinibo Kingdom in other local government area. Ogamekau, let me also salute my brother and friend, a man I admire from a very far distance, because I'm not a youth, so I don't mingle with him. But I admire his courage, I admire his vision, and I admire his capacity. Comrade Ambassador Chijioke Ihuo. Ogamekau, let me also salute the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth, our brother Roland White, and to also salute my other friends who are here to talk to us this morning. I want to start by saying that if you're here and you think the reason you came is to get the shirt, or the reason you came is to snap picture, or the reason you came is to meet with your friends, that is not the aim of this event. This event is organized for us to talk to ourselves on very important issues that don't only affect our today, but will affect our tomorrow. Now, to begin this presentation, I will give you 3 history quotes. The first one is from the man called G. Michael Hoff, an American veteran Marine, who said, and I quote, and I want this particular quote to be our memory verse for this discussion. He said, and I quote, that hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. End of quote. I want to give you another quote about history. And this is coming from the man they call Hegel, a German philosopher of note, who said that the only thing we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. And finally, I want to bring another quote from a British statesman, one-time Prime Minister of Britain, who led Britain in the time of war. And he said that people who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat history. And of course, you know that history has a way of repeating itself. Now, why am I bringing you this quote? I want to remind you that history is about people and times. It is about what people do at a particular point in time and the impact that those actions have on the lives of the people. So now, when you look at Rivers State as you see it today, many of you were not born before the war. I was not born before the war. In the 50s and 60s, Rivers State existed, but not as Rivers State. It existed as a part of what was then Eastern Nigeria, with headquarters at Enugu. Now, at that time, Nigeria didn't have states. We had regions. We had 4 regions in Nigeria at that time. We had the Eastern region, where Rivers State belonged, and then we had the Western region, predominantly the Yoruba area of Nigeria. We had the Northern region, and then we had what was called the Midwestern region. And I can tell you that in my interrogation of what happened at that time, I find that that is where the corruption of Nigeria started. That is when domination of people in Nigeria started. That is when alienation of people in Nigeria started. Because geography tells me that there are 4 cardinal points. You have the north, you have the south, you have the east, and the west. But in Nigeria, they had the north, they had the west, they had the east, but they didn't have the south, because they wanted to dominate the people of the south. And so, at that time, our people had no representation. In the beginning, we didn't have representation in the house of what is like the parliament of Eastern Nigeria. It was the Willis Constitution. If you go back, go to your books and check out that there was a commission called the Willis Commission, headed by a British colonialist, that gave permission for Rivers people to have representation in the house. And at that time, a Rivers man called Wenike Briggs was one of those that represented Rivers State. Now, what was it about Eastern Nigeria? Eastern Nigeria was a place where our people did not have representation and so did not enjoy what you will call today the dividends of democracy or the dividends of governance. Our people didn't enjoy it. I can tell you that at that time, a Rivers man could not own land in Port Harcourt. The lands that we have in Port Harcourt were owned by people who are not Rivers people, and Rivers people could not own their own lands or benefit from it. It took
struggle upon struggle. It took fight. It took people making presentations, even in Europe, in Britain, and other places, in Lagos, in Calabar, arguing for Rivers people to be given opportunity to even benefit from what is ordinarily their own. You will recall that in 1966, our brother, because at that time, the people of Bayelsa State that have their own state now were part of Rivers State. He took our brother from Bayelsa. If he were alive today, he would be from Bayelsa. The man they call Isaac Adakaboro. He mobilized young Rivers people, young men and women, and they fought in what was described as the 12 Days Rebellion against the Eastern region. And of course, the government of the Eastern region and the government of Nigeria resisted that rebellion and defeated them. But guess what? 1 year after, in 1967, thanks to General Yakubu Gowon, Rivers State was created to answer to the struggle of our people to have a state of their own, to have control over their own affairs, their demand for self-determination. In case you don't know, you know the stadium we have at Elekahia? That stadium at Elekahia, we used to call it Liberation Stadium. Later, we now call it Yakubu Gowon Stadium. The reason is simply because it was Yakubu Gowon on May 27, 1967 that created Rivers State out of the old Eastern region. And so Rivers people, in a show of gratitude, decided to name that stadium after him. Now, we have had governors from Rivers State. We have had Rivers people determine what happens in Rivers State from that time, apart from the period of military rule. And here we are today, in an election season, under the leadership of a man that I very much admire. And I believe that all of you who are here should admire him. I'm talking about our governor, Nyesom Wike. If we didn't have a governor like Nyesom Wike at this time in our history, I can bet you that Rivers State would have been observing sit at home every Monday, as it is done in Anambra, in Imo, in Abia, in Enugu, and so on. This same man has shown time and again that his love for Rivers State is his driving force. There's nothing that drives him in everything that he does, apart from promoting and defending Rivers State. I recall when our sister was the MD of NDDC, Joy Nunie, she was to be messed up by the powers that be. She was not a supporter of Nyesom Wike. I don't know if she is now, but Nyesom Wike rose to her defense and said, "You can't do this to my sister. She's a Rivers woman. I must not allow you mess her up." We can't count what Wike has done for us in Rivers State. Is it in the area of security? Is it in the area of infrastructure and urban renewal? Is it in the area of vision and direction? Listen, recently we had the presidential election. Before that presidential election, there were issues in the PDP that Nyesom Wike is a founding member and a major benefactor. What was the quarrel about? We had the presidential primaries and somebody emerged. And our governor says to the aspirant, the candidate now, You have become candidate. What is in this thing for Rivers people? Can you tell me what I will tell my people that we will get if we support you to be president? And the man said, I have nothing for you. So he took the vice presidential seat, he took DG of campaign, he took everything and left Rivers State bare. And our governor said, look, because I can't go to my people empty-handed, because I can't tell my people that they should support you and get nothing. And in fact, in one occasion, our governor said, and I want to repeat him now, that Rivers State has supported PDP the most since 1999 to date, but that there is nothing to show for it.
We good.
Now, just suppose that against what happened in the APC. And former governor, former governor, Rotimi Amechi, took our money to support APC. At the end of the day, he was made a minister. He served for 8 years and brought nothing back to his people. And that is the kind of thing that Nyesom Wike will not do with anybody. Hello? Please forgive my voice. Now, the governor of Rivers State is our leader. He has shown us the way. Don't forget that Rivers people following him voted for Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu in the last election. And today, Rivers State is among the states that have formed the government at the center. If not for your support for him, do you know what would have happened? Nnamdi Kanu's map of Nigeria, of Biafra, that was drawn without recourse to the Rivers man, but with Rivers State included as part of Biafra, would have been actualized. So, we are not Biafrans. We are not from the east. We are from the south. We are Rivers people. We are Ogonis. We are Igbones. We are Calabaris. We are Krikas. We are Donis. We are Ngene. We are Abua. We are Owa. We are Eche. And so on and so forth. We are not from the east. We were in the east, but we are not from the east. Finally, I want to say to us that when Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, some wise men saw the stars and followed the stars to where Jesus was. Governor Nyesom Wike, our leader at this time, he has seen the light and he has asked us to follow. And I'm happy that we have followed. Let us follow to the end, because in the end, we will be happy. We will be happy that we did. And as Rivers people, for us to achieve our aim, we need to shun our political differences. We need to shun our cultural differences. We need to forget the fact that you are Ijo or you are Ikwere or this and that. The reason is that it was that kind of bonding. It was that kind of setting aside differences that enabled the Speak, Kaisarawiwa, Elecha Madi, when he came Briggs, and all those great founding fathers of our state to be able to sustain Rivers State before, during, and immediately after the war. And like I said, those strong men confronted the hard times. In confronting the hard times, they created good time. That good time, I hope, has not created weak men, because I see in you very vibrant, energetic people who are not weak. And so we are going to continue to enjoy what they have bequeathed us by making sure that we follow the vision and the direction for our governor. So come the next governorship election, let us do exactly as the governor has wanted us, and that is to vote for our governorship candidate of the PDP, as in of Sim Joseph Fubara. Thank you very much. And God bless Great youths! Can we please put our hands together for Dr. Gift Wallo? You know, most times it takes a man with so much courage, or maybe all the time, it takes a man with so much courage to speak the truth to whoever cares to listen. And of course, you might be choked at some point, but the truth remains the truth. Some of us might not be very conversant with history, but I'm sure with that paper presentation, Dr. Gift Wallo has been able to enlighten us a bit on what we need to know and where we need to go. And so please, you know, I tell somebody who cares to listen, for those of us, if you are here and you grew up in Diop, can you raise your hand? You should be proud if you grew up in Diop. Everybody now grow for GRA. Nobody grow for Diop here. No Diop person here. Ona de Diop Kwenu. Diop Kwenu. Ah, then they. Now we be the food Diop boys. I be original Diop boy. Original Diop boy. Ah! Diop. Jesus. Diop where my papa and my father they do competition with poverty. They don't even fear poverty, they do competition. As a matter of fact, for our house we not poor. People were poor get money pass us. We were not poor. Now we were poor people, they give example. Say if these people can survive, we self we can survive. We were not poor, we were wretched. And my father they proud with the wretchedness. Go village, go bring 5 of your brothers. They tell us, say, don't worry, let's go to River State. I'll take care of you. Before you know, my mother verse, go village, bring your 5 brothers for inside one room where we take cotton share. I got the wonder what they worry these 2 people. And then born 7 children, 17 of us inside one room. To sleep, problem. In short, for night, one won't sleep with a lockdown like when boss don't fool. Conductor will come, they say, oh yeah, shift my lock up. That kind of house, which not ever press person. Because no space for which to even match leg. Now which they ask us say, how can they survive here? Let's say my brother would do. House where our has come for the first time and the last time they come. As they come, now they knock back. But you don't say poverty they give you by toll. Now they knock back. Open this door or we break it. Now one of my cousins away from village, John replied them, nah more, nah open now, we no lock them. When they hear voice, you know the Bible say wisdom is profitable to direct. Don't be now when they use all these key where hold no they day. Those days key hold they die, go feel people. Now one of the Arabs come people, and that our house, no fan, no AC. Not even ordinary paper to use fan. Now our cloth we dey use. One of the Arabs come peep, come see where all of us dey use our cloth dey fan ourselves. Plus my mother, na the Arabs calling gang. Oh boy, bless say we go dey go. Bless another gang don first us reach here. And na woman dey lead them all. You know to be poverty. Poverty wey make when God bless me I pack come GRA. I don't know say which way they press me for job. Follow me come GRA. I buy that AC, that standing unit. 7 only my room. My mother come visit me the first time. My mother say, why 7 AC? I said 2 now for my past sweat, 2 now for my present sweat, 2 now for my future sweat, 1 now for reserve. I don't know say which follow me come. The first day I sleep down as I on 4 keep down. As I want sleep, I don't know the witch done the ready my sleep bed sock blood. When cold catch witch, I shock say witch they wake me for night. I said, who will I say na witch, na witch, na witch. I said, what you happen? He said, I beg, give me 2 for my cover body, I beg. I said, what you come to? He said, I can't suck blood. I said, suck the soap, but your blood don't block. Oh. May poverty never be your portion in Jesus' name. He don't say that place for job. We dey go church. Those days when we dey go church, you know say women they sit on one side, men they sit on one side. How many of them go church that time? Not be now all of us they sit down together. You go hear they dance. One day, you go they tell you say, Alpha, give me your phone number. Give me your phone number. That time before you go collect phone number for woman from church, you go wait make church finish. One of my friends, we don't go night service before, evening service. As we dey go house, now you go wait for one girl. We ain't keep a head, a leg, you know, say soldier ant today there. The soldier ant come begin enter different places. As him post there, they wait for the air and the girl they come. And I say, in fact, they talk with baritone voice. So, baby, how are you? The girl say, I'm fine. Can I have your number? The soldier ant they enter, you don't know. As he say, can I have your number? The first soldier ant give him, bye! A voice begin come down. What's going on now? What's actually going on? The girl say, any problem? He say, no, let me have the number. As soldier ant bite her for places where no expect. Now they like, baby, what did they go on here now? A voice begin come down. That time, women go sit on one side, men go sit on one side. I go one night vigil. Keep on this. I go one night vigil. Now so, Pastor just said today, tell the Lord that you will locate your husband in this location. Men, tell the Lord that you will locate your wife in this location. I don't know say women sit down according to their age. Meanwhile, men sit down according to their profession. Women 18 to 25, they front. 25 to 35, they middle. 35 to men know something. Then they back. Meanwhile, men, the ones with the government, they front. The ones with their company, they middle. The ones who don't trek mother cats to garrison tire. Now then they back. As pastor talk like that, I come perform finish. Instead of me to go sit down where men they space not today, and I go where women they. As I first go the first place where those 18 years girls sit down. See as they talk to God. Now they start. Now pastor say, even if it's in worship, tell God. Some of them they hear. Now they start. Jehovah Mo. Daddy, I'm just a young girl. And then they fire, yeah, man. Man, who will not feel by me, Mary Kay. I know my to be second wife for any big man who live. As long as saying go fee pay my bills. Oh, Daddy, I'm just a young girl. I come out here, I got the one so don't reach 35, the song change. She came out. Daddy, no mind other person wait there for front to lay. When they reach 35 years old. Then go no say man na man even if na man we get shop I go borrow money from my father me and the man we go grow together 35 years he no be here I can't move go backward go reach those ones that don't reach 50 60 and may know something those ones that start with speaking in tongues liar ba 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 ba. Jesus to me, I use Sarah as a point of contact today. After all, Sarah born at a very old age. Oh, Chineke, even if na shoemaker, Even if na brick in your lay, even if na man where they work for mortuary, daddy man na mad. Even if na man where they HIV, before you go reach us, we go born. Till today, I never near that church again. I left that church for them and their problem, and I went away. Ahmad Diop, oh no. Please, can the artist be settled? Diop, don't go there. Diop, where we say, our church is long now. You know, say, when they begin, please, can the artist be setting up? We want to bring on stage to perform next one of our own renowned Port Harcourt musician who has taken music from this part of the country to the rest of the world. While he's setting up, we will continue to enjoy ourselves because we are youth and vibrant people. In also those days, if you hear advert, normally if you hear advert of church, you go know where the church is. If church there for GRA, if they want to do program for the church, see what you go hear. The music when they do the advert for radio first go sweet you. You go hear something like this. Father, we declare that we love you. The advert will come start. Crusade on the 24th day of July. The pastors with the minister, they go hear ministry. Pastor Jude, all the way from US. Pastor T.D. Jakes, America. Pastor Eze, Abuja. Pastor Jude, Port Harcourt. Venue, Hotel Presidential, GRA. You go one go that kind of program. Make the church therefore that what you have in the live. The song we're going to start the advert now go first make you fear. You go something like this. Okay, now walk. You go call here one deep voice. Crusade, crusade, crusade. There will be a crusade at CPS Borokere. Pastors when they minister, their names say fear don't catch you. Minister Pastor Mbaka Abba. Pastor T.D. Rukewe, worry. When you call those Ajabo churches, you go see them. Give all this, go just play something, you hear something. The Lord is here. I know that you know that the Lord is here. Can somebody give Jesus a wiper? Go all those our church for you. Don't worry. They don't use wiper, they don't get motor. You go see the pastor on the shout, the Lord is here. My brother, not be fight now. If you believe that the Lord is here, all of you rise up, give Jesus 3 a willow. For church. Alright. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? If you're having fun, make some noise. I saw distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, like I said, we're gradually getting to the high point. We still have 2 more lectures, but for now, permit me to make welcome my brother, my friend, one of those who came out of this beautiful state with a wonderful music that is trending all over the world right now. His voice has touched Africa, America, Europe, Asia, and the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the one and only Why You the Why Me crooner, Austin the Boy.
What I got, people, are you ready for me? I be you the one nobody said. Show you the way me. I know, saying I know be no say celebrity they with on. You're gonna come shake me on a try. Don't touch celebrity now, you the whiny. My maximum regard to the high table, sir. I stand here as Austin the Boo and I go wine on her today, no be on me there, I come with my dancer as I dey wine in song. My dancer go the wine on her for waist. Are you ready now? Mera kamale rabadi. Mera kamale rabadi. Mera kamale rabadi. Mera kamale rabadi. Mera kam. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to invite the stage beautiful dancers from Ogoni. They are going to wine you now. Mera kamale rabadi. 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 Oh, this one's the virgin, oh. They no man, no. If you want to argue with me, go argue with my ancestors, man. Okay, now, hey. Nobody, you don't put your weapon and play me and lay your connected. I could let no one do that. Me where on the Okay, now we want to see each of them ways now. If you do them be virgins, so. Okay, now this face, this face, this face. Mena kamale raba, yeah you don't want me. 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 I be you the one nobody say. 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 They are virgins, oh. They are virgins, oh. No, 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 no. Me no come out of that. No, no. Me no come out of that. No, 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 no. No, no. No, no.
Can we please put our hands together for Austin the Bull? Wanna clap now? Alright. At this point, we're going to take another paper presentation. But please, may I ask all our speakers to try, all those who are presenting, to try and maximize 10 minutes because of want of time, so that we can maximize the time we have a live coverage. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point it is my pleasure to make welcome to speak on the topic Political Alliance Dynamics and the Future of Rivers State. Please, can we put our hands together for my brother, my friend, a man I have so much respect for, and a man who is a veteran in this field of mine. Please, can we put our hands together for Mr. Don Kester. Please, can we put our hands together for him? One clap for my guy.
Great Rivers youth. I'm not here now. I said great Rivers youth. Greatest of the 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 greatest Rivers youth. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to recognize the presence in our midst of the chairman of this occasion, Chief Tony Okocha, former Chief of Staff, Government House. I'd like to recognize also Ambassador Chijoke Ihunwo, Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter. I'd like to recognize also the PAMSEC, Ministry of Youth, Dr. Roland White. I'd like to also thank my friend and brother, Dr. Gift Walu, and of course, Dr. Charles Asuk. My talk this afternoon would be very brief, and I mean very brief. I've been given a topic titled Political Alliance, Dynamics and the Future of Rivers State. I am not a politician. There are two reasons I'm here. Number one, everywhere youths are gathered, I like to be found there, whether I'm invited or not. The reason is I believe in the youth, and I believe that the youth alone can turn the future of this country. If they can turn the future of this country, they can start with this state, Rivers State. So hear me as I speak to you in the next few minutes. Two things I know about politics, though I'm not a politician, is that number one, all politics are local. Number two, politics is a game of interest. And I will repeat that again. Politics is a game of interest. Anywhere your interest is not protected, then I think you should either move or don't do business with anybody. Hear me clearly. Any man who walks up to you who is a politician and sells any idea to you, understand this all of the time. It's about his or the people's interest. So, I've been in Rivers State 30 and something years, and I can say without flinching, without fear of favor, that Rivers State is one of the most accommodating states in the Federation. I'm married here to a Rivers woman. My children go to school here. I do business here, and Rivers State has been a blessing to me. However, I like to say to you, as an indigene of Choba, by extension, that's where I schooled, University of Port Harcourt, you have to protect your turf. I'm from Edo State. I'm sure that if I go back to my home today and I went to play politics and I hear that somebody who is not an indigene of my state shows up for a position that I'm interested in politically, I won't take it lightly. In the same vein, youths of Rivers State, I tell you today, not to incite you, but I'm saying to you, our founding fathers, and I mentioned just three of them, Kenule Sarowiwa, Harold Dapabriye, and of course, the late Obiwali. They fought, they did so much, they sacrificed to bring us to where we are today, to protect the River State we are enjoying from. They will turn in their grave. They will never rest if they look back and see that the youths of today are not keeping their legacy, the legacy they left behind. I'm not saying go and fight. I'm saying defend your turf in a non-violent manner. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Let me hear the yes. Great. So friends, like other speakers have said, like my friend Dr. Walu said, you have a leader in this state in the person of the governor. If he's saying go in this direction, I only think anything he wants he already has. Political position, whatever. If he's telling you move in a certain direction, it is for your own interest and your own future. So in spite of being an accommodating people, be sure to know that everything that controls our lives is political. And if you do not guard your political turf, it's your business. Because your children will rise up tomorrow and ask you questions. But I pray when they ask you questions, you'll be able to answer them correctly. Somebody shout yes. All right, finally. Frantz Fanon, I quote him. Somebody, chief of staff quoted, former chief of staff quoted him just now. Frantz Fanon says, the future will have no pity on any man who is endowed with the exceptional privilege of finding solutions to the problems at hand, but rather we take refuge in an attitude of passivity, of mute indifference, and of great complicity. Youth of today, as I speak to you, may you not be found wanting that at a time you needed to stand for your state and protect your turf. You said, no, it's not my business. You might take 50,000 naira today, even 5 million naira. It is not enough. Protect your turf. God bless you.
Can we please put our hands together for my elder brother and friend? Mona, clap for Ghana now. All right, thank you. Youth! Yes. Build youth! Build the youth! Build the youth! I know they hear now. Build the youth! Build the youth! Oh no, no, it will talk about youth. If I said the other people, they know. I don't want to build the nation. This is whether this I don't want to build the nation. Build the youth! Build the nation. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is our next speaker. Up next is our next speaker. I'd like to recognize the presence of Honorable Please permit me to recognize the presence of the Secretary Obiakpor Local Government Council, ably represented here by the Executive Secretary of Council. Please, I'd like us to put our hands together for Honorable Ijoma Wallo. Please, can we put our hands together for her? Permit me at this point to hand over the microphone to our next speaker. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, is going to speak in on ethnic denomination, the past, present, and future of political relations in Nigeria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I hand over the microphone to Dr. Charles Asok. Please, can we put our hands together for Dr. Charles Asok? Thank you.
Great Rivers youth, great youth of Rivers State, Mr. Chairman of the occasion, Chief Tony Okocha, Chairman, Nigerian Youth Council, co-lecturers. I would start by saying that yesterday we yearned for a better tomorrow. Today we mourn the loss of a better yesterday. I hope that is clear. Yesterday we yearned for a better tomorrow. Today we mourn the loss of a better yesterday. Secondly, there is always a time in the life of a man, a people, and a society to negotiate between yesterday and tomorrow, and that time is a present. That is the core value of the lesson of history. Sometimes we say that history repeats itself. It is because we do not learn from the lessons of history. Today I'm speaking on the topic ethnic domination, past, the present, and the future. We know what ethnic domination is all about. Rivers State was created from the yearnings of the leaders of thought in the various groups that constituted what become Rivers State today. Why? Because there was huge domination in the previous Eastern Regional Government. Rivers State was created to satisfy the yearnings and the aspiration of the people that see themselves as being vulnerable, as being dominated. Today, it's as if the domination, the ethnic domination has refused to go away. Why did I say so? We all witnessed what happened at the PDP primaries. That our governor participated and negotiated as a political factor from the minority. He was astute. He was maverick. Unfortunately, he was denied. Why? Because the ethnic major decided to continue its domination. And therefore, our governor, Nyesom Wike, was denied the ticket from their political manipulation and calculation. Now, what happened in the past? Rivers people suffered hugely under the government of the Eastern region. They never had voice. What caused the civil war was also the tendency to dominate the Rivers people. And there were a lot of political negotiations. For example, in 1959, the only Rivers man then, though there was no Rivers state created, who was elected into the parliament was Chief Melford Okilo, late Chief Melford Okilo. How did he get elected? Because he founded the Niger Delta Congress. After its election, it was difficult for the NCNC and NPC that had formed an alliance to form a government. And so he was invited with his party and they formed an alliance. It was that alliance that gave Chief Melford Okilo the appointment as parliamentary secretary to Tafawa Balewa, the first and only Prime Minister of Nigeria. Now, the negotiations continued. In Rivers State, in Nigeria, the ethnic majors will continue to align against the minorities. Recently, I used to tell people that what happened in 1959, 1979 was what repeated itself. Why? In 1959, three major groups dominated the political landscape of Nigeria. The Igbos, represented by the NCNC leader Nnamdi Azikiwe, the Hausa Fulani, represented by Tafawa Balewa, and then the Yoruba, represented by Obafemi Awolowo. In 1979, the same thing happened. UPN, NPP, and NPN. Now, in the last concluded presidential election, what happened? We had the three majors, and there was no minority representation among the three major political contenders. Going forward, in this kind of critical political scenario, what do we expect that will be the manifestations of political relations in Nigeria in the future?
See this guy, you have to talk to him.
We have been complaining of ethnic domination by the majority group.
Talk to him now.
Unfortunately, they are not ready to agree to the cry and the clamor for equity, justice, and fair play. Therefore, Rivers Youth, this is the point where you will have to negotiate between your yesterday and your tomorrow. Rivers Youth, this is the point that we do not have to continue to mourn the loss of yesterday. We'll have to start from this point to begin to march on with determination. Of course, looking at the political history, at the political development history of Nigeria, the majority groups will continue to articulate the tendency to dominate the minority groups. Why are they doing that? They will do that because their contestation is all about attempt to control the economic resources of the minorities. So, we have to continue to form alliances. We have to continue to negotiate our pathways in the political calculations ahead so that we'll try, by the grace of God, I know we will achieve to break the jinx of ethnic domination, and finally we will be liberated as Rivers people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles Asok. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to recognize the presence of Comrade Sway Maxwell, Department Director of Students, Deputy Director of Students, Directorate of Mobilization, PDP Campaign Council, Rivers State. You're welcome, sir. Permit me at this point, before we bring the leader of the youth and the voice of the youth, to make welcome the representative of His Excellency the Governor to the podium. Permit me, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to make welcome for a brief speech representing the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Barrister Ezewo Wike, CON, GSSRS, Power of Sports Africa, Live Venture. Permit me to recognize the permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth. Please help me welcome to the podium Dr. Roland Herbert White. While he makes his way to the podium, may I recognize the presence of the Executive Chairman of the Local Government Council, Honorable Barrister George Ariolo, is ably represented by the Council Secretary, E.J. Okabwe. You're welcome.
Build the youths! Build the youths! Build the youths! Build the nation! I want to sincerely thank the chief organizer of this occasion, the Chief Honorable Tony Okocha, the ambassador himself, Chijioke Inwo, and all the 23 local government National Youth Council coordinators. I believe strongly that the youths own the future. And the INEC that we all look up to has made us understand that youth constitute over 60 to 70%. And so the youths can decide what will happen in Rivers State. Youths, I greet you all. Youths, I greet you all. On behalf of my Honorable Commissioner, who is unavoidably absent, I believe strongly that we've been told what to do. And we are going to do it because the youth development policy of Rivers State, to a large extent, will commence any moment from now. And we will all understand why the youths are very important. I want to sincerely thank the organizers of this occasion, bringing the youth from the 23 local government areas for an occasion, a summit of this nation. The summit is very, very important. Let our youth begin to understand their role in society. The time has come for the youth to take over what belongs to them. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Youth, Dr. Roland. At this point, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask that the representative of the youth from the Rivers East, Rivers West, and Rivers Southeast be up the podium here, because we're about to make welcome the leader of the youth. And so please, why I ask those representatives to be here, because Organo go stand here, make a people know they here. So please, youths, are we ready to receive our own Oga? Are we ready to receive our own Oga? Where are the youths? Why are you still sitting down? Why are you still sitting down? You still sitting down? Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome. Help me welcome the chairman, National Youth Council, Rivers State Chapter, the Gala Chairman, Ambassador, Chijoke, Can we have all the youths? Everybody stand up, come to the front. Everybody stand up, come to the front. Thank you. Come on, come on. Everybody, everybody. 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 The youth. Everybody. All the coordinators, bring your people out. All the coordinators, bring your people out. I don't care. Daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, oh, go no game. Oh, papa, mana, go mono. 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 You don't make us eyes. Oh, papa, mana, go mono. 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 Oh, papa, mana. Oh, yeah, you don't make us eyes. Oh, papa, mana, go mono. 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 Oh, papa, mana, go mono.
Destroy the youth. The chairman of today's occasion, the former chief of staff, Government House, Chief Honorable Tony Okocha, our principal and our boss, the permanent secretary, Rivers State Ministry of Youth Development, Dr. Oberola White, the executive chairman of Obiakpo local government, represented by the secretary of council, the guest speakers here present, upon the greatest Rivers youth, greatest Gbogbo, build the youth. Let me thank everybody for coming for this important summit, and that at the end of this summit we'll have a communique, but because of time we are going to make it available to the media houses to go through it. But let me say something, please listen to me. Because of time, we have a communique that we have written. We formed the committee and they have written that communique. We are supposed to read it out, but because of time, we are going to give it to all. We are going to give it to all the media houses to go. But let me say something to Rivers youth, that we are in period of election, and that we need people who have good heart to govern our states. We must not give our state to miscreants. We must not give our people to greedy people. We are going to vote for people who have the mind to support the youth. And let me tell you something for the first time. Can you hear me? In the history of Rivers State, we have had a governor from Ikwere Extension, 2 governors. We have had Dr. Peter Dili, right Honorable Chief Timi Amechi, and Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezebunwo-Wike, the current governor. And let me tell you, hold on. Dr. Peter Dili is the father of Nyesom Ezebunwo-Wike and Amechi. And that Rotimi Amechi, Nyesom Ezebunwo-Wike, the current governor, and Senator Magnus Abelisino, these persons are the same set of people. And they have been in government since 1999 to today. Yes. And that the governor of Rivers said, no, our generation is about to go. We need younger person to take over leadership position in Rivers State. And that is why we must support Sir Sim Joseph Fubara for the governor. So, don't be deceived by vote money in your pocket. All those is a scam. So, we are going to elect a man that is going to continue from where Governor Wike has stopped. Rotimi Amechi, all of them, Magnus Abe, they have tried. They are our brothers. We need the younger people. If Sim become governor, we need to have new commissioners, not be the old ones. And they hear me? So don't be deceived by desperate politicians who don't get work. They walk up and down. This is the time for the youth to rule Rivers State. So for us to make sure that we support Sim, you must have a PVC. So by next week Saturday, come out in mass and let us go for Sim Fubara. Like I said before, these people, their time don't expire. They don't get plenty money. We need younger people. And Sim represent youth. So let me tell all of us, you are aware that the revolution of project in Rivers State, carried out by Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezebunwo-Wike, the pride of Nigeria, Wike has worked. So for us to consolidate on these things, we must come out and let us support Sim. Sim is the only solution to revolution for youth. Because if you vote for these people, they will still come back those elderly men who don't go to retirement come back. So this time around, we are sending them package. So get your PVC next week and let us vote for Sim Fubara. Thank you and God bless you.
Follow who no road you. I say Fubara. Follow who no road you. Follow who no road you. I say Fubara. Follow who no road you. Follow who no road you. I say Fubara. Follow who no road you. I say Fubara.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, may we observe the national anthem, please. The national anthem.
You've been watching a live program from Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, where the Rivers for Rivers Network, in conjunction with the National Youth Council, is holding a one-day summit where youths were enjoined to shun tribalism, ethnic domination, and divisive politics, especially as the country prepares for the gubernatorial and state houses of assembly election scheduled for March the 18th, 2023. According to several speakers who presented papers at the summit, youths must unite and form alliances so as to break the chains of ethnic domination that has held Rivers State and the entire country back for so long. Chairman, Rivers State Chapter of the National Youth Council, Ambassador Chijoke Ihunwo, urged the youths not to sell their votes or vote for the old hands. Instead, he says it is time for youths to rule.